Welcome. Now, once you open SPSS, what do you see? And it's correct. Yes, you see rows and you see columns. And also you see variable view, you see data view. And these are the important features of SPSS. Now, let's suppose you want to code a questionnaire. What you have to do is you have to click on the variable view, and in that variable view, you'll see the ones up to 22 and beyond. These will represent the number of variables, or the number of questions that you are asking. And each question will have special features. And these features are name, type, width, and so on and so forth here. We'll concentrate on the name, type, label, values, and measure. These are the elements that we'll focus on in our course. Now, let us suppose we want to code a questionnaire which has a question: what is your gender? What is your gender? So on name, we have to give it a unique name, gender. Then on type, we have to ask ourselves from the respondent's point of view, what to be the response? If we ask what's your gender, will the answer be a number? Will the answer be some kind of words? And now if I ask you, what's the gender? What is your gender? What is your answer? Is the answer a number or words? Oh, and you're correct. The answer is just words. So when asked what's your gender, then you will say, I am male, I am female. Okay? In that case, then we will choose a string which symbolizes words. It's not about a number. Okay? Anyway, okay. Then you move further, we concentrate on the label. The label is what will be seen by your viewers. So we want there to write it correctly. So we say gender. And then we go to values. On values, we write what will be the characteristics of gender, or what will be the sub-themes of gender. If we ask, what's your gender? What will be the responses? And the responses are kept in the values. So we number on value, we write 1, and we write, let's say, female. So 1 symbolizes female. Then we add. Then we write 2, and 2 symbolizes male. And these have no special order. That 1 means is perhaps superior, 2 is inferior. No, does no special. Then we have the other, perhaps in case someone does not want to disclose their gender, so we'll just use other. Then we add. Then we, okay. So we have put the values of gender in this column values. Then we go to the measure. And in the measure, we are actually looking at 3 things. Now, let's look at the measure. The measure is really about how the variables will be measured. Will they be measured in an ordinal way? Is there some kind of order in those variables? So, for example, perhaps you are starting from inferiority to superiority. Is that the case? So then you have to call it order. Or are they just without any form of order? Then that's nominal. And now I ask you, is this variable gender, is it an ordinal variable? And you're right, it's not an ordinal variable. So males are not superior than females, and females are not superior than males. So it will just be a nominal variable. Okay, now let's look at another variable, age, and we'll write age, type of data. What type of data is age? And remember, we have to ask the question from the respondent's point of view. What is your age? What is the response? Is it a number, numeric, or is it form of words? And yes, you are right, because you said it's a number. So what's your age? I am 10. What's your age? I am 20. That's numeric. And the label, let's look at the label. So the label, we are saying this is age of respondents. And then we look at the values. Now, since this will be spontaneous ages, then we will not have values within. So, unlike the gender, which had some embedded values, age doesn't have any embedded values. So, we'll write none on values. Then when it comes to measure, oh wow, this is interesting. Look, what's happening is you have another measure called scale that has popped. And this has popped because of the word numeric. So it relates to numeric. So we're asking ourselves, is this age in a certain order? And yes, it has a certain order. It can start from 0 to infinity. So it's not a nominal data. So one thing is, it's an ordinal data, but since it can start from 0 to infinity, then it's also a scale variable. So we put actually scale. And now let's look at one more variable. Let's say, to what extent do you agree that this is a good lesson? To what extent do you agree that this is a good lesson? So we want to measure that. So we want to see agree, okay? Let's say maybe not agree. Let's call so let's look at another variable, a variable that is a Likert scale. So we say I agree that this lesson is very nice. Okay, so perhaps I want to say this lesson is very good. I want to strongly agree, disagree, and so on. So, lesson, that's actually the name of that variable we want to give. Okay, now when we ask, then this variable, because it's a Likert scale, it will be a numeric variable. In spite of saying strongly agree, and so on, but Likert scales are actually numeric. And in terms of the label, so we can actually write the whole phrase, I find this this lesson good. Okay, then we'll put values there. So value number 1, strongly disagree, and we are using the small value for the worst response. Number 2, disagree. So we say disagree. Number 3, we say neutral, not sure, neutral. Then number 4, we say agree. Then number 5, we say strongly agree, agree. So the small values are associated with the least responses. So 5 is the highest desired response. Then we say okay. So we have the values in about the quality of the lesson. I find this lesson good, and so on. Then measure this absolutely. What do you think is the measure? How will this be measured? And you're right, this is a scale variable. And this is how actually to code a questionnaire. So, what have we learned so far? We have learned that SPSS has columns and rows. And it has two components, variable view and data view. And on the variable view is where we're coding our questionnaire. We're coding our questionnaire, and each question was represented in a role. Each question about gender, about age, about whether the lesson is good was presented in a role. And each column was corresponding to the type of, to the variable. So gender, the name, the type of data, and so on. So this is really how to code a questionnaire. And in our next lesson, we'll look at the data view, how to record the data. Thank you. And basically what you have seen is from the variable view, when you click the data view, our values, our variables were actually populated on the other data view, making it ready for us to actually record our data.